Hey, what's up, guys? Houston here. Look, guys, here's a hack that I overlooked, and I did it, but I never really paid attention to, especially when you're trying to get high limit credit cards. All right. Here's the thing about it. One is making sure your file is set up right. Okay. And so I know a lot of people are saying, well, I got a good credit score. The thing about it, if you don't have the right mix on your credit file, again, is not going to get you to high limit credit cards. All right. And so what I mean by that is that with most people, especially if they had bad credit or rebuilding, all right, they're stacking their file up with a lot of revolving accounts. However, these are credit builder accounts they're doing, okay, and not actual credit cards, all right. And so by you doing that, again, with financial institutions, they look at it as you're just stacking, okay, and you're not really building a relationship with a financial institute. You're using what do they call them? The third party type of companies, fintech companies, right? Now, here's the thing about it. Another thing that people assume that's a good thing, but it may not be, is they add on a lot of authorized users, okay? You do not want to do that, okay? That's a big mistake, all right? And the reason that you don't want to do that is because especially institutions that use a FICO 8 scoring, they don't even calculate authorized users. However, like other institutions that most people would run to, like a Navy Fed, Penn Fed, granted, they do calculate and accept authorized users. However, when you have like 3 and 4 authorized users, is actually too much. And I'll tell you another thing that most people don't understand about authorized users. All authorized users are not the same. And so what that means is that you may have somebody that qualified for a $25,000 credit card. However, because it's brand new, that history doesn't transfer over. All right. Now, in terms of will it kind of do an impact on your DTI, your debt to income ratio? Kind of, sort of, right? However, that credit history would be more of an importance when it comes to that. Now, here's something else that I want to tell you, that when you're trying to get high limit credit cards, one is making sure you have a long relationship with the institution. And what I mean by long relationship, I would say to be comfortable, 3 to 6 months. Excuse me, I'll take that back. I would say 6 to 9 months instead of 3 to 6 months, right? Now, a reason that I tell you this is because you want them to be able to get used to you. Okay, what type of deposits, how many accounts you have, and things of that nature. Especially, again, you're going after high limit credit cards. Now, here's a method that they call the 359. Okay, and this here method, I would tell you to be very careful with, and I'm gonna make a separate video going more in detail with it. All right, so the 359 is where the 3590. All right, and so with the 3590, basically, you are, 3590 is where you would apply for credit cards with 3 to 5 banks, okay? And then once you get in with those banks, you would actually apply for a credit limit increase within that 90 days. And you would apply for some more banks within that 90 days. Now, here's the thing that can create the challenge for you, because more banks, they're starting to be more sensitive to check systems and early warning systems, okay? And so when you apply to too many banks, all right, especially within a 6 month to a 12-month period, then that raises a red flag. All right. However, there is a hack to getting higher limits. All right. And so with that, the thing is that with higher limits, let's just say that you get a card. Okay. You get a card from American Express. All right. And so we know that American Express pulls Experian FICO 8. Okay. However, let's just say they only give you 5,000. Let's just say they only give you 5,000, right? And then you wait 90 days and then you ask for a credit limit increase. Now, here's the thing about it with the credit limit increase. This is very important. You don't want to go over 3 times the amount they approved you for. Okay? Because if you go over that amount, especially with American Express, they may ask for a financial review, meaning they're going to ask for pay stubs. They're going to ask for taxes. Okay? So that's the reason why you want to actually be very careful with that. Now, that being said, here's the thing about it. All right, let's just say they gave you 15,000. You went from 5,000 to 15,000. Then you applied for another credit card. All right, and you're trying to get higher limits, right? So you apply for another credit card with American Express. Then this time they gave you another 5,000. Again, you're trying to get higher limits. So what you can do with American Express is called reallocating. You can ask them to move that, is it at $5,000 over to the 20 over to the 15,000, so you can have a 20,000. Now, also just depends on the card. Okay, looking at what is the value of the card. Are you looking at a card with 0% interest on purchases and balance transfers, or are you looking at a card that has like travel rewards and stuff like that? So it just depends on which way you're going with the situation. All right. So that's one thing with the reallocation. Number 2 is making sure that you update your income as well as your rent. Okay. Those are the 2 biggest factors, because a lot of people dealing with their income. What ends up happening with a lot of people is that they would only put their income instead of the household income, especially if you have a spouse in the household that has an income, or you may be on disability. Okay. However, you may be doing a house hack where you're renting out a room or something to somebody and they're giving you income for that room and paying utilities and stuff. That's income. Or you may be retired and you're receiving extra money from a pension plan or annuity or something like that. That's also income. Okay. So that's the thing about it, understanding like how to make yourself look good enough to the financial bureaus to where they accept you and willing to take a chance on giving you a higher limit. All right. Now, there's a third thing. All right. And that's with paying down the debt. Okay. What that means is that you have credit cards that may have a utilization over 50%. If you're able to pay that debt down to maybe 10%, this will also increase your chances. Now, how do you do that? Well, the thing about it, with credit unions and with banks, if your utilization is already at 55%, it's very hard to get a loan from them. So you would have to go to a third-party lender that's willing to work with you, especially like if you know that you have a strong income. Now, a strong income, I'm talking about, you know that you're making at least 45,000 or more. All right. So then you would go to lenders like Universal Credit, okay, that offers you from 1,000 to 50,000. And they accept 75% DTI for a loan, and then taking that money and paying down your credit card debt. Okay, that positions you to help you get higher limits, or going to low credit finance, where they offer loans up to $50,000, which they don't do a hard pull on the credit. So it just depends in terms of the strategy. But there was 3 strategies. You have the allocation method, then you also have the pay down method, and then also updating the income and the rental method. Those are the 3 ways to actually help you get a higher limit credit card. All right. For those of you that may be wondering, where do you start at in terms of the best credit cards? I would tell you, look for a Visa Signature, Visa Infinite card, or MasterCard, World Elite MasterCard, because usually those credit cards are more likely going to give you a starting limit at about $5,000. Okay. Now, in reference to American Express, it does not apply for those 3 things. However, when you're going after like Citibank, Bank of America, Chase, and stuff like that, those are the credit cards you actually want to look at. All right. So I hope this video helps you. If you have any questions about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.